Hi, and welcome to Top Nuggets. This is where we help today's believers in the areas of faith, personal growth, and leadership. Today's top nugget has to do with marriage. And as you know, there are passages in the Bible that in today's world might be deemed controversial. But nonetheless, just to put you in context, I have a very interesting little story to tell you. One day, there was a pastor who was supposed to have a counseling session with a couple at his church that was having a lot of difficulty in their marriage. So when the appointed time came, the couple came in and the man was very verbal. He was arrogant. He was showing a lot of anger and a lot of domineering attitudes. Anyway, he's at the desk with the pastor and he's telling him how his wife is not this and she's not that and she's not. And then he points out, he says, she's not submissive. And then the pastor looks at him and says, not submissive. Is there anywhere you can show me that in the Bible? And the guy's eyes popped out. He's like, I can't believe the pastor asked me to show him that in the Bible. He grabs his Bible and he's angry. And he goes to Ephesians chapter 5 right away. And he points out to Ephesians chapter 5. And then he starts reading. So the pastor says, okay, read it to me. And so the guy starts reading. Wives, submit to your husbands as unto the Lord. And the pastor says, wait, time out. Wait. Can you read it again? How does it begin? Then the guy's looking at the pastor like, what are you talking about? I didn't even get to read the whole thing. Okay. Wives, submit to your husbands as unto the Lord. You stop. The pastor said, stop. Read it again. I'm not quite getting that. And the guy's looking at him like, what is he getting at? He's starting to boil inside and he just wants to he's starting to thinking about maybe punching the pastor out. But he does it nonetheless. Wives, and then pastor stop. He says, stop. And then he looks at the man. And he says to the man, he says, sir, can I ask you a question? He was like, sure. Do you ever open somebody else's mail? He says, no, that's just plain wrong. He says, did you notice in that passage, it's not speaking to you. It's speaking to the wives. What does the same passage, the same chapter in Ephesians, what does it say about you, about husbands? Which part is addressed to you? And the husband was humbled as he read in Ephesians in the same chapter. The part where it says to him as a husband that he should love his wife as Christ loved the church. And see, that's the thing in marriage. If you want to have a successful marriage, you have to take what the Lord commands of you and run with it. And guess what? You'll never be done running with what is commanded to husbands. And the same likewise, a wife who wants to be godly, she'll never be done in running with what the Lord commands them to do. But as husbands and as wives, we have to take upon ourselves what God asks us to do and not point to the other and saying, you're not doing what God wants you to do. Start with doing your part, and guess what? If you do your part really, really well, chances are your spouse will be so blessed that they'll want to do their part really, really well. And that's how you have 100% partnership in marriage. I hope this little story helped you, and I hope you're going to apply it to help yourselves to have a better relationship and a better marriage, because it's only when we obey God that we can have the best results in our lives. So this was today's Top Nugget. I hope it blessed you. And if it has, make sure you share it with your friends. Make sure you share it with maybe your spouse this time around. And God bless you, and I'll see you at the next Top Nugget.